The last Neanderthal, how our ancestors conquered the world and another human species vanished. Imagine a world not so long ago, a mere blink in geological time, where humanity was not a single species. Imagine two distinct kinds of humans, intelligent and resourceful, sharing the earth, hunting the same game, navigating the same harsh ice ages, and even at times sharing intimate moments. One, robust and powerful, a master of the frozen north for hundreds of thousands of years. The other, nimble and adaptable, a newcomer from a distant continent, driven by an insatiable curiosity and a spark of ingenuity that would change everything. For tens of thousands of years, they lived side by side, their paths intertwined. Then one day, one species vanished, leaving the other as the sole inheritor of the planet. This is not science fiction. This is the incredible, complex, and ultimately tragic story of the encounter between Homo sapiens and Neanderthals. It is the story of our ancestors, their monumental journey out of Africa, and the forces that led to their global dominance, while another highly intelligent human species faded into oblivion. How did one group, despite having larger brains and being perfectly adapted to their environment, disappear? What crucial advantage did our Homo sapiens ancestors possess that allowed them not just to survive, but to thrive and colonize every corner of the planet? And what does their disappearance tell us about ourselves, our resilience, and our unique place in the tapestry of life? Today, we delve into one of the most pivotal and mysterious chapters of human history, the great out-of-Africa migration of Homo sapiens and the perplexing extinction of the Neanderthals. We will explore the ancient world they inhabited, the dramatic climate changes they endured, the technologies they wielded, and the crucial moments when their worlds collided. This isn't just a tale of survival, it's a profound narrative about adaptability, innovation, and the subtle, yet powerful, forces that shape the destiny of species. Prepare to journey back in time, to witness the dawn of global humanity, and to ponder the ghosts of our closest evolutionary kin. The stage is set for an epic drama tens of thousands of years in the making. This story begins in Africa, the cradle of humanity, approximately 300,000 years ago. Here, Homo sapiens emerged, not as fully formed modern humans, but as a species undergoing a profound transformation. Archaeological sites like Jebel Irhoud in Morocco and Omo Kibish in Ethiopia provide tantalizing glimpses of these early ancestors, with faces that begin to resemble our own. These early Homo sapiens were already demonstrating remarkable ingenuity, crafting sophisticated stone tools and developing complex social behaviors. They were survivors, learning to navigate the varied landscapes of the African continent. Meanwhile, far to the north, in the vast, often frozen expanse of Eurasia, another human story was unfolding. The Neanderthals, Homo neanderthalensis, had evolved independently for hundreds of thousands of years. Their lineage diverged from a common ancestor with Homo sapiens, Homo heidelbergensis, perhaps 600,000 to 700,000 years ago. These were not primitive brutes. They were a distinct and highly successful species, perfectly adapted to the demanding climates of Ice Age Europe and Western Asia. They had robust bodies, powerful muscles, and brains that were, on average, even larger than our own. Historical context and setup. To truly understand this epic clash of destinies, we must first set the stage. The world 300,000 to 40,000 years ago was profoundly different from today, shaped by colossal geological and climatic forces. This was the Pleistocene epoch, an age defined by dramatic cycles of glacial advance and retreat. Massive ice sheets periodically covered vast swaths of North America, Europe, and Asia, locking up enormous amounts of water and dramatically lowering sea levels. The landscapes these early humans navigated were ever-changing, a mosaic of frozen tundras, vast grasslands, dense forests, and scorching deserts. These climatic fluctuations directly influence the availability of resources and the movement of both animals and humans. Periods of warmer, wetter weather could open up verdant corridors, allowing migration into previously uninhabitable regions. Conversely, arid periods could create impenetrable deserts, isolating populations and forcing them to adapt or perish. It was a world of constant environmental pressure, where adaptability was not just a virtue, but a prerequisite for survival. In this challenging world, Homo sapiens and Neanderthals developed different, yet equally impressive, strategies for survival. Neanderthals, forged in the crucible of Eurasian ice ages, were paragons of physical adaptation. Their short, stocky builds with broad chests were ideal for conserving heat, like a living heat-retaining tank. They were expert hunters, relying on powerful spears for close-quarters combat with megafauna such as woolly mammoths, rhinos, and giant deer. Their Mousterian tool technology, characterized by carefully flaked stone tools, was sophisticated and efficient for butchering and processing game. Neanderthals were also far from simple-minded. Archaeological evidence reveals they cared for their sick and elderly, perhaps indicative of empathy and strong social bonds within their small, familial groups. They used fire, buried their dead, and even created symbolic objects, suggesting a capacity for abstract thought and cultural practices. Sites like Shanidar Cave in Iraq have offered hints of purposeful burials, showing a depth of behavioral complexity that often challenges earlier, simplistic portrayals. Meanwhile, in Africa, Homo sapiens were evolving a different kind of strength. While not as physically robust as Neanderthals, our ancestors were demonstrating an unparalleled cognitive flexibility. This period, often termed the cognitive revolution by some historians, saw the development of complex language, abstract thought, and the capacity for imagination and planning on a scale previously unseen. This wasn't just about bigger brains. It was about how those brains were wired and what they could achieve collectively. This cognitive leap manifested in several ways. Homo sapiens developed more diverse and advanced Upper Paleolithic toolkits, featuring finely crafted blades, composite tools, and crucially, projectile weapons like spears and later, bows and arrows. These allowed them to hunt more safely and efficiently from a distance, reducing the risk of injury. They also excelled at creating tailored clothing from animal hides, constructing more sophisticated shelters, and developing intricate foraging strategies that allowed them to exploit a wider array of resources, from large game to fish and plants. Furthermore, Homo sapiens exhibited a remarkable capacity for large-scale social cooperation and information sharing, extending beyond immediate family groups. This ability to form broader social networks, to exchange knowledge, and to coordinate complex actions whether for hunting, defense, or resource management would prove to be a decisive advantage. The stage was set. Two distinct human species, both intelligent and capable, but with different adaptations and strengths, were on a collision course, destined to shape the future of humanity. The story unfolds Phase 1. The first steps out of Africa, the narrative of Homo sapiens truly begins to unfold with their ventures beyond the African continent. While initial, smaller forays out of Africa may have occurred as early as 150,000 to 200,000 years ago, these were likely limited expansions, perhaps testing the waters of the Arabian Peninsula and the Near East, that did not lead to widespread colonization. The fossil records from sites like Eskal and Kafse in Israel show evidence of early Homo sapiens presence in the Levant, but these populations may have been localized or later retreated. These early movements were often driven by favorable climatic conditions, periods when the Sahara Desert, usually an impenetrable barrier, would green up, opening corridors for migration. These green Sahara periods would create vital pathways for humans and animals to move between continents. But for sustained global expansion, something more was needed: a critical mass of population, advanced adaptive strategies, and perhaps a touch of environmental luck. Phase 2. The Great Wave, the truly decisive chapter in our ancestors' global journey, occurred around 60,000 to 70,000 years ago. This period marks the beginning of the major out-of-Africa migration wave, the one that would ultimately lead to the peopling of the entire world. It was a monumental undertaking, driven by a combination of increasing population pressures within Africa, the relentless pursuit of resources, and an innate human drive for exploration. Our ancestors likely followed a southern coastal route, moving from the Horn of Africa across the narrow straits of the Red Sea, Bab el-Mandeb, which would have been narrower due to lower sea levels, and then eastward along the coasts of the Arabian Peninsula and into Asia. These coastal paths provided abundant marine resources and predictable pathways, offering a lifeline through what would otherwise have been challenging desert environments. From Asia, Homo sapiens branched out. By approximately 65,000 years ago, they had reached Australia, a testament to their nascent seafaring capabilities, using rudimentary rafts or boats to cross significant stretches of open ocean. This was a truly astonishing feat for Stone Age people, demonstrating advanced planning, resourcefulness, and collective effort. Other groups pushed northward and westward into the heart of Asia, eventually reaching Siberia. The journey was slow, measured in generations, each small band pushing a little further, adapting to new challenges, and expanding their territorial reach. Their advanced toolkits, versatile hunting strategies, and adaptable social structures proved invaluable in these diverse and often hostile new territories. Phase 3. Coexistence and interaction, the crucial juncture and the heart of our story, arrived when Homo sapiens migrated into Europe and Western Asia, territories long occupied by Neanderthals. The first significant encounters are estimated to have occurred around 50,000 to 45,000 years ago, creating a period of coexistence that lasted for thousands of years. This was not an instant clash of titans, but a gradual intermingling of two distinct human worlds. What happened during these millennia of overlap? The answer is complex and multifaceted. Genetic evidence has revolutionized our understanding, unequivocally demonstrating that interbreeding occurred. Most modern non-African humans carry between 1% and 4% Neanderthal DNA in their genomes. This isn't just a statistical anomaly. It means there were moments of peaceful, intimate interaction between Homo sapiens and Neanderthals. They met, they mated, and they produced fertile offspring. This genetic legacy suggests a dynamic far more nuanced than simple conflict. Perhaps some Neanderthals were assimilated into larger, expanding Homo sapiens groups. Perhaps a few advantageous genes from Neanderthals, acquired through interbreeding, even helped Homo sapiens adapt to the colder Eurasian climate or develop immunity to local diseases. This genetic exchange speaks volumes about their shared humanity, despite their distinct evolutionary paths. However, coexistence also implied competition. Both species were apex predators, hunting similar large game and vying for prime territories, caves, and freshwater sources. Homo sapiens brought with them a different toolkit and different strategies. Their projectile weapons allowed for safer, more efficient hunting from a distance, reducing the risk associated with close-quarters encounters with powerful animals. Their broader diet, incorporating more fish, birds, and plant matter, made them less vulnerable to fluctuations in large game populations. Furthermore, the social structures of Homo sapiens appear to have been more flexible and expansive. While Neanderthals likely lived in small, tight-knit family groups, Homo sapiens could form larger, more interconnected social networks. These broader networks facilitated the sharing of knowledge, resources, and even allowed for more effective collective defense or larger, more organized hunting parties. This strength in numbers, combined with superior communication and abstract thinking, likely gave them a subtle but significant edge. Phase 4. The turning point. Neanderthal decline. Despite their long-established presence and adaptations, the Neanderthal populations began to decline as Homo sapiens continued their inexorable spread across Eurasia. The exact reasons for their disappearance, which culminated around 40,000 years ago, are still hotly debated, but a multifactorial explanation seems most plausible. No single catastrophic event wiped them out. Rather, it was a complex interplay of pressures that gradually pushed them towards the brink. One major factor was undoubtedly competition with Homo sapiens. As Homo sapiens populations expanded, they put increasing pressure on the same limited resources. Imagine two highly efficient predators vying for the same diminishing herds of reindeer or the best caves for shelter. Homo sapiens' more diverse diet and advanced hunting technologies may have allowed them to outcompete Neanderthals, reducing their access to critical food sources and prime territories. Climate change also played a significant, albeit indirect, role. The late Pleistocene was a period of rapid and intense climatic fluctuations. While Neanderthals were adapted to cold, they may have been less resilient to the speed and severity of these changes. Rapid shifts in temperature and vegetation could have impacted the megafauna they relied upon, making their specialized hunting strategies less effective. Homo sapiens, with their broader diet and superior ability to adapt through technology, better clothing, more varied shelters, might have weathered these changes more effectively. Furthermore, the cognitive revolution in Homo sapiens might have provided an intangible but crucial advantage. The capacity for complex language allowed for more efficient transmission of knowledge across generations and better coordination within groups. Abstract thought and symbolic behavior, evident in cave paintings and intricate ornaments, point to a capacity for innovation and problem-solving that might have outpaced Neanderthals. This allowed Homo sapiens to quickly adapt to novel challenges and develop new strategies for survival. Another debated theory involves disease transmission. As Homo sapiens moved out of Africa, they might have carried novel pathogens to which Neanderthals, having been geographically isolated for millennia, had no immunity. Similar to the devastating impact of European diseases on indigenous American populations, such an introduction could have significantly weakened Neanderthal groups. Finally, the assimilation hypothesis suggests that interbreeding, while a sign of interaction, also contributed to their disappearance. If Neanderthals lived in smaller, more dispersed groups, and Homo sapiens populations were larger and expanding, sustained interbreeding could have led to Neanderthal genes being absorbed into the larger Homo sapiens gene pool, effectively diluting their distinct lineage until it faded away as a separate species. Phase 5. The last stand. By around 40,000 to 30,000 years ago, the fossil record for Neanderthals effectively ceases. Their last known strongholds were in isolated pockets of Europe, such as Gibraltar. Here, a few remaining groups clung on, perhaps for a few more millennia, before succumbing to the relentless pressures. The exact moment of the last Neanderthal's breath is lost to time, but their absence marks a profound shift in human history. This was not a mass genocide, nor a sudden, dramatic extinction event. It was a gradual process, playing out over tens of thousands of years, where a combination of ecological competition, environmental stress, the unique adaptive advantages of Homo sapiens, and perhaps even genetic assimilation, led to the quiet disappearance of our closest human relatives. Homo sapiens had, by this point, cemented their position as the sole surviving human species, ready to inherit and reshape the entire world. Impact and legacy. The outcome of this grand encounter between Homo sapiens and Neanderthals reverberated through history, shaping the very trajectory of our species and the planet itself. The immediate result was the global triumph of Homo sapiens. From their African origins, our ancestors had successfully colonized every habitable continent, adapting to environments ranging from the scorching deserts of Australia to the icy tundras of Siberia, and eventually crossing the Bering Land Bridge into the Americas. This extraordinary expansion was not just about geographical spread. It heralded a profound shift in ecological dominance. Homo sapiens emerged as the planet's apex species, with an unprecedented ability to modify their environment and extract resources. This dominance would eventually lead to the agricultural revolution, the birth of cities, and the complex civilizations we recognize today. The cognitive and social foundations laid during this period were essential stepping stones for everything that followed. But the legacy of the Neanderthals endures in a more intimate way. Within our very DNA, the 1% to 4% of Neanderthal genetic material found in most non-African modern human populations is a tangible, living memory of those ancient interactions. These genes are not just relics. Some are believed to have conferred advantages, such as adaptations to colder climates or enhanced immune responses, helping our ancestors thrive in new environments. The Neanderthals may be gone, but a part of them lives on in us, a subtle yet powerful reminder of a shared past. The disappearance of Neanderthals also marks a unique moment in evolutionary history. For much of hominin history, multiple human species coexisted. With the extinction of Neanderthals, Homo sapiens became the lone human species on Earth. This singularity is a defining characteristic of our species today, setting us apart from most other successful animal lineages that typically diversify into multiple closely related species. It raises profound questions about competition, adaptation, and the factors that allow one species to achieve such unparalleled global success. The long-term impact of Homo sapiens' global expansion extends beyond our species. Our ancestors' arrival in new lands often coincided with significant ecological shifts. The extinction of megafauna in regions like Australia and the Americas, though debated, is often linked to the arrival of highly efficient Homo sapiens hunters. This early impact on global ecosystems foreshadows the profound and sometimes disruptive role humanity would play on the planet, a trend that continues to this day. In essence, the story of Homo sapiens expansion and Neanderthal extinction is a foundational chapter in human history. It illuminates the incredible adaptability and ingenuity of our species, the complex nature of interspecies interaction, and the deep genetic roots that connect us to a distant, diverse past. It is a testament to the power of cognitive evolution and social cooperation in navigating a challenging and ever-changing world. Reflections and lessons. What profound lessons can we draw from this epic tale of human triumph and tragic disappearance? The story of Homo sapiens and Neanderthals offers timeless insights into the very nature of existence, adaptation, and the intricate dance of life and death on Earth. The paramount importance of adaptability. Neanderthals were incredibly strong and well-adapted to specific climates, yet Homo sapiens' more generalized adaptability and capacity for rapid innovation allowed them to thrive in a wider array of environments, and weather drastic changes. How important is adaptability for societies and individuals facing rapid change today? The power of collaboration and social networks. Homo sapiens formed larger, more flexible social groups and sophisticated networks for sharing knowledge and resources. How crucial are strong social bonds and cooperation for humanity's continued survival and progress in our complex modern world? The subtle strength of the cognitive revolution. While Neanderthals had large brains, the unique cognitive abilities of Homo sapiens' complex language, abstract thought, imagination proved decisive. What does this tell us about the nature of intelligence and its role in survival, beyond mere physical prowess? The fragility of even successful species. Neanderthals existed for hundreds of thousands of years, evolving sophisticated cultures and technologies. Their eventual disappearance underscores that no species, however successful for a time, is guaranteed eternal survival in the face of persistent environmental and competitive pressures. What does this teach us about our own species' responsibility towards the planet and its myriad life forms? The complex nature of interspecies interaction. The relationship was not just one of conflict or replacement, but also included interbreeding and genetic exchange. How does understanding these nuanced interactions challenge our preconceived notions of us versus them in both biological and social contexts? The enduring mystery of human identity. With the disappearance of Neanderthals, Homo sapiens became the sole human species. What does it mean to be the last of our kind, and how does this uniqueness shape our perception of ourselves and our place in the universe? Outro: the story of the out-of-Africa migration and the extinction of Neanderthals is more than just an ancient historical event. It's a foundational epic that shaped who we are today. It's a testament to the incredible resilience, ingenuity, and spirit of exploration that defines Homo sapiens. From a single continent, our ancestors embarked on a journey that would redefine life on Earth, leaving behind not just footprints, but an enduring genetic legacy in the very fabric of our being. This chapter of history sets the stage for so much more. Our next journey could take us deeper into the mysteries of other archaic humans, like the Denisovans, whose genetic traces are also woven into the tapestry of some modern Asian populations. Or perhaps we could explore the profound impact of Homo sapiens on global ecosystems, delving into the great megafauna extinctions that followed our ancestors' expansion. Another fascinating path might be to trace the origins of agriculture, the next great revolution that fundamentally reshaped human society and our relationship with the natural world. Ultimately, this story reminds us that history is not just about dates and names. It is about the grand, unfolding drama of existence itself. It is about choices made, challenges overcome, and the relentless march of time that shapes the destinies of species. By understanding our distant past, by acknowledging the other humans who once walked this earth alongside us, we gain a deeper appreciation for our own unique journey, our strengths, and our responsibilities as the sole inheritors of this incredible planet. Thank you for joining us on this journey through deep history.